My desk is covered in jewellery making or earring making stuff, but more on that later. Hello everyone and welcome to the late July episode 2023 of a Spring Snowflake Podcast. My name is Sophie. You can find me in all the places as Sophie Swan or as a Spring Snowflake, which is my, it sounds so corporate, business account. That's where you can find my designs, information about teaching, about other skills soon to be added and services soon to be added. But if you just want day-to-day stuff, it is Sophie Swan. Although I've kind of been taking an unofficial break from social media because it's just all a bit much. It's hard enough just keeping my own like real life stuff plus the friends in my phone from like WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger and just plain old messages, text messages, that I don't think I've been on WhatsApp apart from to like read group messages. I definitely haven't posted in a while. Anyway, but I am here to give you an update from the reorganised craft room. I don't know if it's quite in shot, but I've got my display, which my lovely friend Cowl, where's my handle? There it is, got me, which says, "It's not hoarding if it's yarn." That was my birthday present, I think, for a shot. Oh God, from Cowl. I probably have completely ruined the shot now, but all my stuff is on the walls. If you'll excuse the messy bed, I've got my, that's a thing, but I've got my Katie Green sheep of the British sheep breeds poster up, and let's edit that, and that's, there we go, that's better. We're making sure I'm recording. I have my Treble Maker t-shirt on from Skanehead. I also have some me-made earrings, which I'll talk about in FOs. Yeah, it's all now coming together. My Uncle Philip is back up on the wall finally after months of not being on the wall and generally just being sat there. For those of you who don't know me or haven't been around long enough to hear this story, I lost my Uncle Philip when I was very young. I think I was 8. He's my mother's half-brother, and therefore was a younger, fun uncle who had no responsibilities and a disposable income, so therefore spoilt it on his niece and nephew. Which is not the reason why I loved him, but because he was quite a constant in our lives. So I have a lovely collage up there of photos of him on his travels and also with me and my brother and my mum. So yay. It's just nice to have him back up there. And then I've got a Katie Green self-care poster and a donut picture which says "Focus on the donut, not the hole." Which has so many meanings that you can take away from it. So yeah, I am finally in a nice place. I'm going to move that bit, there we go. I'm finally in a nice place of kind of feeling a bit more settled in my craft room now that it's repainted and fresh. I do need to change the curtains, but we'll skip over that. Anyway, how are you? It's been a while since I checked in and said hello, but I hope you'll forgive me. I have decided today that I'm going to do a bit of a whip audit because there's a lot. I've had a lot of starts recently. I'll tell you a bit more about stuff about this in personal update at the end. But my brain's needed quite a lot of dopamine hits recently, so we've gone with it and had a lot of new starts. However, I do have a couple of finished things. First thing is in my ears. So these are sea glass beads that I bought as earrings on. Here we go. I've got them on with it as on these kind of wire hoop findings. Now these don't stay in my ears. So the beads and the findings were from Lilliput Wight Jo, lovely woman. I bought them at East Anglia Yarn Festival in March, and they've been sat in their bag waiting for me to do something with them. And I had these titanium wire hooks, which I switch out on every other hook metal that I get in that's not so if it's not platinum, but I've got one set of earrings that are platinum, if it's not already titanium, and if it's not, is it stainless steel? Yeah, then I tend to switch the findings out. So I've done that on a few of my things. I am not by any means a jewellery maker. I am a bit cack-handed. What I did though is I used the wires from this to attach the so basically threaded the stones. These are sea glass because Lilliput Wight, some of her stuff is made of sea glass, and then once I'd kind of attached it to the to make sure it would actually stay on as here we go, technical terms, finding? I don't know. I then had loads of wire left, so I just wrapped it round, and I think it looks really good. And I've made them opposite, so one twist that way and one twist that way. I'm really proud of myself. But yeah, I've had, I actually just finished these about an hour ago. It is the evening, so apologies for the weird lighting. I have got my overhead light, I've got my spotlight as well. Well, it's not really a spotlight, it's my bendy desk light, but I point it at the ceiling and it seems to actually get rid of some of the yellow light in this room. I don't really understand how, but it does. But yeah, just before I came on here, I was going through all my pile of like stitch markers that need to be fixed, and ones that have lost their lobster clasps, and lobster clasps that need new friends. So I've got like empty lobster clasps here, but I've also decided that I want to, like, I've got a lot of these types of, hang on, here we go, like on the bulb stitch markers, these ones, which don't lay nicely when you're using them as stitch markers. Look at this sheep. So I don't reach for them, but I'm thinking if I put a jump ring on them and then put them onto the lobster clasps or the earring findings, they'll actually be more usable as stitch markers. And then the other way around. Oh, I have to show you the. This has been. I think Laura from The Lonely Knitter made this one. I think. Yeah, she did. Although I need to get him to sit properly. Anyway, he has been without his earring finding, because that's what my favourite ones are. My favourite clasps are these ones, the ones that come on, focus on the little man. I love it. Yeah, so these little clasps are my favourite for stitch markers because they give you a lot of room. But yeah, he is not staying in my collection though. He is going to a friend who totally deserves a stitch marker in her life. So he is going to get parcelled up. But I did turn some of my stitch markers into earrings. So these were from 2 of the Midnight Diaries cozy boxes, and I don't reach them, I don't know why. So I've turned them into earrings. So this is a little set. Oh god, here we go. So these are not like, these are other people's creations, but I've just kind of, damn it. Do you know what? One at a time. One at a time. So it's a little strawberry there, and then there's little mushrooms. There we go. I also had some earrings that, again, came on these rings, don't stay on my ears, and they fell out, and helpfully I managed to find them, but I've put them on stud clasps as well. So I've got a little acorn. These are from, I think, FabShed on Etsy. I will link. But they're mismatching acorn and oak leaf. For those of you who don't know, my maiden name has something to do with oak. So I have an acorn and an oak leaf as mismatching earrings. So that's nice. I'm halfway through another set, which I won't show you. I'll show you next time. So that's my first set of FOs. Which, actually, if you think about it, that's 3 FOs in one evening. Yeah. I need to get into hobbies that are quick. Anyway, I have, because I'm organised, a podcast basket. Aren't I? Like, honestly. Anyway. So, my first... Oh, do you know what I haven't got? I haven't got my sock blockers. So, I'm going to get one. Hang on. We'll just have one. I have finally finished a pair of socks that have been on the needles for at least a year, if not more. So, these are what I call my loan socks. They are a self-stripe from Loan of the Lonely Sock Lady. Oh my God, Loan, I forgot your business name. But yeah, Lonely Sock Lady. So it is, I did a 2x2 twisted rib, then I did a fish lips kiss heel, which is not my preferred, but if I want to have stripes that are doing what they should do, then it's one of my preferred. I do increase 6 stitches before I start the heel. The reason why I don't particularly like short row heels is because my tension changes when I'm knitting flat massively. So I have to be very careful about my tension, and that's not the point of socks. Socks are supposed to be like easy making. There are 2. This is, I cannot remember what this colourway is called. Cozy Nights in Sierra Leone, I think. But yeah, they're beautiful. They're for me. Yeah, so fish lips kiss heel, wedge toe. Very bog standard. They're shorter leg because I was slightly worried about running out of yarn. I shouldn't have worried about running out of yarn. It was a 50 plus 20 sock set. And it worked out perfectly. So they, now that I've shown you, are going to go in my normal rotation, even though it's summer and it's really hot. Although I did take some socks camping with me, which I'll tell you about later. Right. The other FOs, and there are 16 of them, were sewing. They were teachers' gifts. And I will let Sophie of the past tell you about them now. Hello. So, the things that I want to show you that I finished that I can't save until the next podcast are the teacher gifts for Amelia's teachers at school. There are 8 sets of the same thing but in different fabric because I've been sewing. This pattern, so I've made 2 things for each teacher out of their individual fabrics. First, oh God, there's some... Nope, it's not attached to the actual thing. Anyway, first things first, coaster. Hang on, there we go. That's that way up. So, little hexagon coaster. These originally were going to be little hexie, like, you know, the pinch corner. I'll pop a photo there. But when I made them, I was like, no, they're too small. They're not useful at all. I need to make them bigger. And then I was concentrating on making these. So, this is the main present for each of the teachers. This is the Quilty Boxy bag by Laura of Sweet Cinnamon Roses. There we go. My hair. I went to the hairdressers earlier. I got my hair re-dyed. But this bit at the front has just gone... So I might be clipping that back later. Anyway, so it's the Quilty Boxy Pouch by Laura from Sweet Cinnamon Roses. You can purchase the pattern on her website, but there is also a video tutorial. But if you want all the sizes and all the kind of like really intricate information and the detailed information about kind of what to buy and stuff, you can buy the pattern. It's very affordable, and she also gives you a license to sell if you wish. So I chose the pattern, Amelia chose the fabric. So this is for her teacher that she's been doing den building club with this term. So beehives and bee hotels or bug hotels. She's also her reception teacher, and I chose some polka dot ribbon, red polka dot ribbon to go with that, which I think is lovely. The first one I finished was, have I sewn the inner? I have not. Oh, all of them apart from her class teacher have got this just poly cotton light green lining. That is one that I still need to close up the hole at the bottom, but we're going to pretend that doesn't exist. Anyway, the first one I didn't do with tabs, and I regretted it. So, because it's just a bit harder to manage more than anything else. So this is the bee fabric. Now you'll notice that they're all quilted in different ways. So this was straight line quilting. This is diagonal line quilting. But yeah, this one is for her head of infants, so she's going up to the next, so she's not leaving her school, but she's leaving year 2 and going into year 3, which is a different section of the school, and the head of that section, this is for her. So this was the first one I finished without the pull tabs, and it's just harder to manhandle. But then matching coaster, we're calling them Hexie coasters. So there's that one, and then we have two of the cutest fabrics that we have. We have the bears, and I have to show you the cute bit, the cuteness. Look at this little man or girl, and then their little friend who's poking their head out of a log on the side. Oh my god, this fabric is just so cute. I've got quite a lot of it left as well. This one just had a green zip. It's got the green lining. This is for one of the TAs in her year, not her TA, the other year 2 class's TA, and just little like ivory silk ribbon. Now that I've made 8 of them, I'm going to make more, but I'm going to slightly change the way the boxing's done. Is that one finished on the inside? Is that one of the ones this one I can show off. Look, I hand stitched. I wonder if it's going to let you see. I hand stitched. It's just whip stitch, but I hand stitched it closed in the hairdresser's chair today because I am that mother. And then coaster. This one I like because look. Hello! I'm such a child. Okay, so that's that one. And then we've got the other cute animal one. Excuse my kid, I'm really sorry if that sets off your handy voice activated person. Amelia's in the bath right now listening to Matilda the musical. Anyway, look at them! Look at the foxies. Look, they are just the cutest. Oh, just. This one's that one's quite a large pattern repeat, whereas this one's slightly smaller. So you do get, I think, at least one pattern repeat on each side. Green zip again, and this one was sewn on the machine, so we're not going to show you that. And this one has got glittery ribbon. Most of them have got glittery ribbon. So that one, oh, let me put the fox. Have I put the fox in there? No, where's the fox? There it is. Look at him. Or her. Oh, so cute. So cute. Okay, so that one's going in there because that's done. If they're zipped up, they're done. If they're not zipped up, I know I need to hand stitch them closed. Okay, and then next, let's go with this one. This is probably my next. Oh, we're going in backwards order of reverse order, like the top 40. Anyway, so this one Let me zip it close so it's a bit... Oh no, what's going on? Ugh. I was a bit worried there. I thought I'd melted the zip earlier. Right, this one with the gorgeous blue tit is for one of the other TAs who has been running an art and story club. And my little artist does so love her little... So this one is like blue tit fabric that is watercolour. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just beautiful. And then the matching coaster, the small one on one side, the big one on the other. And this is one that still needs its lining hand stitch, so I'm going to put that in there. No, I'm not gonna. So 2 that still need hand stitching. Okay. And then, oh God, I don't know which is my next favourite. These last 3 are for the most important people. So her teacher, her class teacher, her TA, and the other year 2 teacher. And the other year 2 teacher has been running cooking club this year, which has Amelia's got knife skills now. It's amazing. Anyway, right. So this is the TA, whose name matches quite well with the pattern on the fabric. So Amelia chose, like, I basically said, what are you going to get for Mrs. or Miss? And she then went and picked out the fabric. So this one is a lovely mustardy yellow with these gorgeous flowers on it. We picked out some coordinating zips, and actually she was going to get a yellow one, but I've used the yellow one in another one. So the one that I was going to use for the other one, which I'll show you in a minute, was used on this one. Some lovely almost matching. There's almost a colour match. And then the green lining. Again, this is one that I hand stitched. Look, hand stitching. There we go. It's not invisible, but it is neat. So that one and the matching coaster. This is obviously a very easy pattern repeat. So I actually diamond quilted on this one. One thing I would say, I didn't actually think about them pattern, like the quilt pattern matching on the bottom. So if you see here, it's close, but it's not perfect. And I was really proud of this. This was not intentional at all, but I don't know if you can see the grey lines there, but they do match. It was so exciting. Whereas like the B one, the quilting does not match. But it's fine. They're handmade and well loved, made with love gifts. So that's number 5. Yes, number 6. That was number 6. Number 7 is for the other year 2 teacher. And I can't decide which of these 2 is my favourite. So this is peacock fabric. Now I love peacocks anyway, so there is and this, I think I love this. I love this a lot because of the quilting, because I was able to use the motifs on the fabric to lead the quilting. So that was really cool. But the thing that I absolutely love about this one is it does not look, even though that had a corner cut out of it, it still looks matched up, as does that one. I'm just so happy with how it matched up. Anyway, so I used middle of the motif for the coaster. So that one is also, no, that one needs stitching. Okay, so the last one is done. This is her class teacher. This is the fabric. Come on, focus. Focus on the flamingos, not on my face. So yeah, flamingos. There is a reason why there's flamingos. But her class teacher, who, oh God, I'm going to miss her so much. She has done wonders with my kid this year. Amelia came into year 2 not being confident with reading, not liking reading, like not really knowing where she fit, not feeling like she was very bright, and her teacher has taken her under her wing. She's accepted no excuses. She's not soft. She's not one of those like nurturing and lovely and care. Like, no, she's caring, but she's not like, she's not soft. She's not wet, I think is one of the mums said. She's not wet. She expects a lot from her students, but she does it with the utmost assertion and like, no, I think you can do this, so you're going to. And that kind of confidence in her that she is instilling in these 6 and 7-year-olds is exactly what that one needed. The TA, the yellow flowery bag, was very much like, at the start of this year, we are going to get you all up to the same standard of reading. It's not the same standard of reading, but like to they had a goal at the end of this year, and she's almost there. And she's not quite there, but she's almost there. And I think back to the start of year 2, where she was struggling with her phonics and with sounding out words, and now she is reading things like that. She's recognising them without having to sound them out. Yes, she's still using her phonics skills and to sound out the tricky words or the words that she doesn't know, but she's reading as if she's reading and putting character into what she's reading, which is just, it's just wonderful. Her maths is amazing. Her art has, like, she was a little artist before she went into this class, but she's been encouraged in it. Anyway, this is the bag. This one I did some slightly fancier quilting. I did, here we go. Oh, are you gonna look? Yeah, so I did like quilty boxes with a diagonal through every other row. Ish. Anyway, so her teacher loves yellow. So when I found this out, I was like, well, we're swapping the yellow zip in rather than the turquoise. So this would have been that kind of tealy turquoisey zip. And she gets different lining. She gets yellow with stars. 'Cause she's a star. This one was like 15 years older than me. I'm not going to age her that much. But yeah, and I'm just really happy with how these have turned out. And they're not perfect. Like, if you looked really hard, you could see that this line of stitching is slightly bigger than this line of stitching, but they are usable. They are wonderful. What I am going to do, actually, if I have time, is I'm going to... Oh, I don't know, actually. I used gold glittery thread to hand stitch this one closed because she loves a bit of sparkle, does her class teacher. So, yes, those are the teacher presents, and I've warbled on for quite a lot of time for something that's a segue. So this is what's been taking quite a lot of my crafting time recently, hence the reason why the rest of this podcast is... lighter on the yarn content. Anyway, back to Sophie of the future. Okay, so yeah, that was a mad 5 minutes. No, it was a mad while ago. But yeah, so we are now at the end of week 3 of Amelia's summer holidays, of 8.5. Anyway, so yeah, let's move on to the meat of the programme. What I am going to plan on doing is I am not going to talk about blanket projects at the moment. There are many of them. They are mostly in these 3 end cubbies you can spot, like, that's the top cubby, this one and this one are all blankets. Mostly, I think they're all crocheted apart from my English paper piecing one. So I will talk about those in the next podcast, because I think if we talked about all the blankets, that would fill up at least an hour anyway by itself, so let's do that another time. But I will talk about the other things that are in my life. So back here is, oh goodness me, this thing's in the way. Back here is a trolley from IKEA. Oh, that was my studio lights. Back here's a trolley from IKEA. It's the Raskog. Every self-respecting crafter has one in their craft rooms, or craft areas, for those of you who are not quite so lucky to have a craft room. I know I'm very privileged to have this room, but it also does, you will have seen the bed, it does double as a spare room. Anyway, back here is the cart of dreams. I have attached with yarn one of the IKEA pegboards onto it just to give me a bit more organising space, because I have a lot of stuff. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up, shall we? Right. First, I'm going in random order. I am not doing this in category at all. In my Mrs. Brown's bag, I have many pins. Stitch Foundry. I'm not procrastinating, I'm just doing side quests. I think I got this off a maker on Etsy, and this one is from the people with the ball machine at EAYF. What are they called? But it says no yarn left unsquished. And this is very squishable yarn in here. This is Truly Hooked Sweater Club V8 version 8 in yak sock. So 70 merino, 20 yak, 10 nylon. I got 4 skeins of this as part of the Sweater Club a while ago, and I am making the Maema Cardigan. I'm on the increases. I am there. I'm basically at the top of my shoulder blades. I've not got very far. It is one of those patterns that is, once you get into the rhythm of it, it's a 4-stitch repeat for the yoke increases. So it's not hard, but I seem to have a problem with switching between the honeycomb brioche. Come on. Please focus on the stitch. There we go. It's beautiful. And then the stockinette of the shoulders. So I quite often have to, unless I'm like actually concentrating on it, which is very rare because I make usually while I'm doing something else. Yeah. So I don't reach for it because it's not as intuitive as I thought it would be, but I do want to finish it at some point. But it is a cardigan. More on cardigans later. Anyway, so that's that one. Next one is, that is a blanket project, so we're not going to talk about that. Next one is living in a, who is this? Bertie and Poppet hot chocolate bag, which is, I believe, yes, Chris's Mitts. This is out of a Countess Ablaze yarn called, hang on, Sunday Roast Every Week. It's a sparkle DK. It's gold sparkle. And I am making him some mitts. I cannot remember where I got this DPN holder from. Oh, no, it's in there. Oh, it's a Bertie and Poppet one. So in here is 2 mitts on the go, one slightly further than the other. I've got a Lonely Knitter polymer stitch marker on here. Christmas tree. Can you tell the last time I picked these up? And then a Chapelview Crafts little Robin biscuit on this one. Oh, he does not want to show his face. There we are. Yeah, they're just, I think I'm basing them on the Chili Podster mitts, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. I am able to access Ravelry, but I believe you can also get it on the designer's website. But yeah, Chris has asked for, he wants fingerless mitts, but he wants actual fingers. So I need to fudge that at some point. But yeah, this I think I put down because I had I'd finished the gusset increases on this one, and I was doing them on this one, and then I got distracted. But I do want to finish them so that Chris can have them for winter. Because if we're going to have another winter like we had this year, where it got really, really cold, and with fuel prices still on the rise, cost of living, guys, he's going to want to have some nice fingerless mitts while he's working. So those need to get done. Speaking of mittens, and the last one on the bottom thing, in my Kalokshek Ellen Mrs. Lamb's Yarns Christmas bag, which I believe I bought off her last Christmas before, are my, hang on, here we go, my Millet Mitts by Isolde. I bought the pattern and the kit. I bought the kit, so pattern and yarn. So it is Phenol Garn, Phenol PT2 Raumer Garn, in the actual colours of the thing. And I am, I don't know who made the DPN holder. It's got reindeer on it. I'm there. So I have done the cuff, which is it's a folded cuff, like that. So you start it inside out so that you can do the colour work on the cuff, and then you do your ribbing, and then you fold it over, and then you basically turn it inside out, so that the wrong side becomes the right side. But yeah, so I'm on the rice stitch, but with the thumb increases, and at some point soon, I believe I put those stitches on. But again, I haven't touched this in over a year. I really want these mitts. I think they will be incredibly comfy. Oh, look at that. See, I want them. I do want them. But I just haven't picked them up, which is frustrating beyond measure. Yeah. Anyway, so that is the Millet Mitts. Part of me is thinking, part of my reason for doing this whip audit is that I want to set myself goals. Ali and Maddie do it well. Maddie did it first from, what is Maddie's podcast called? She's Overall Sews and House of Langford. House of Langford, that's her podcast. But also Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful has started doing it as well, of kind of setting herself monthly goals. Now, if you set me a target, I will overshoot it, but at least it's on my radar. So maybe those, although I kind of want to do Chris's mitts now. This is my problem. Right. Okay, so let's put those 3 back in. That's a blanket. This one is actually a relatively new project. This is, I can't remember who made this bag. Is it Fibre Fox? It might be Fibre Fox. They never put their... Anyway, this thing that looks like a weird bowling pin is a... why is there no stitch marker holding my stitches? That is very silly. Let's rectify that. This is a doll from the... Oh, where's the book? I think it's Edward's Doll Emporium by Kerry Lord, who is the person behind Toft. And I am making a doll to emulate one of my daughter's favourite characters at the moment, which is Mal from the Descendants series of Disney made-for-TV movies. Mal is the daughter of Maleficent, but this is basically pants, body, bra, start of head. It does look like a weird bowling ball right now, but she will eventually look like this person. It's a really good little book. It's a flip book. Oh God, where is it? I had it. I'm going to go and find it. Be right back. Battery issues. Don't know why. Didn't like this one. Anyway. Honestly. There we go, that's better. Right, yes, the book is this one. What I love about this is that you've got your standard kind of how-to, I'm not going to show you the pattern, but how-to in the back. And then you've got these flips that you can change the head and the body depending on what you want. It's really cool. I love it. So it's called Edward's Crochet Doll Emporium. I am going to, once I've made her body, I am going to make her 2 outfits. So this one, which is the most complicated. I think I'm going to use, there's either a chef's outfit or there's a tailcoat on there that I think I might use part elements of for the, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, that one. And then also this dress. Those pictures are owned by Disney, not me. Just covering my bum. Anyway, this is made out of scraps of fingering weight held double for a worsted weight. I am doing it with a 4.5mm hook. And Amelia has chosen the colours she wants. So of course there's sparkle pink in there. But she was very like, we got the pictures out from the movies, we Googled and we did screenshots, and she was like, oh no, this pink goes with this. And so she's a very discerning customer. So yes, that I started this week. And I'm going to take it away. Amelia and I are going away for the week because my husband is going away as well. So we're going to go down to Kent and see friends and family. Hopefully Amelia's going to have a sleepover with my mum, so that'll be nice. So I'm going to take that and see if I can finish at least the body, at least the doll. And I think I'll do the dress first, because the dress actually I think is going to be easier. So yeah, so that's that one. We then have Tale of Woe. This was a design in progress. It's now just a 3-colour shawl that I'm making up because I can't. I'm literally halfway through the yarn. I'm going to show you the back. It is a kite-shaped shawl, which I am currently in the middle of doing. It is Giddy Yarns, Eeyore, Rabbit and Rose, I think it's called. I can't remember what the... Hang on, I've got the ball band in here. Yarn base. Oh, I don't think she gave me that. Oh, hang on. Yes, Rose. From Giddy Yarns. Helen did give them to me as yarn support for the design, but it was 2 years ago that she gave me at least Rabbit and Eeyore. And I've got stuck so many times. It has been 4 different shapes, this yarn. What I will say, Giddy Yarns 75/25 merino, so good when frogged. It has it's not gone fuzzy, it's not lost any weight to it. Very impressive. It's a good base. So I can highly recommend the base. This is a Fiberfox hand-dyed merino bag. I've got many pins on here, including Helen's I'm a Giddy Knitter. If you see Helen at shows, and you tell her that you watch her podcast, you will get one of those badges. So yeah, it's a Tale of Woe. It's good. It's hibernating for now. I may go back to it as a pattern, but currently it is not a sample and a collab at the moment. It may end up being, I don't know if Helen's going to keep those 3 colours in stock. Her Winnie the Pooh collection is very popular, so, but we'll see. Bless her. We had a conversation about it, and I was like, I'm really sorry, but I can't. I want to just rip it out right now. And she was like, okay, it's a gift. We'll come back to it. She is the nicest person on the internet, and in real life as well. Right. Next in my scrap vinyl bag from Stitches Tees. This is all the offcuts from when they're doing their heat pressing of this was before they switched to screen printing. Their offcuts were put onto bags, so no waste. I've also got my Crit and Knit pin on here. This is my Starflake, which is Stephen West pattern, and I'm on the brioche. Apparently I've plucked a stitch. This is in yarn from Irish Artisan Yarns, who I rarely see on social media, which makes me very sad, but it's probably because I can't see them at the moment, because Instagram is awful. So it is a 4 skein or 2 colour 4 skein shawl. I've got that much left of the first 2 skeins, and I am on the brioche. Yes, that's the right side. I really want this. This I bought as a souvenir of our Northern Ireland holiday No. When did we go to Northern Ireland? Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember. Time is a weird soup, as the lovely Fern Calloway in Critical Role Campaign 3 says. Time is a weird soup. Jazz is also chaos, according to her. So, yeah. But yeah, this is Belfast colourway, and then I can never remember this name, and I don't have the ball bands in here. I'll put it across the screen, I'll remember. But yeah, I love it. It's very much a West design, but it's also very much muted. So I am very much going to enjoy this when I get to finish it, but it is at that stage of just long haul rows, so I pick it up every now and again. I'm not too worried about that one. I do want it. I do want the finished object, but I'm not going to like push myself to work on it when I'm not feeling the urge. But I am one of those people that loves brioche knitting. So I also love brioche, but I can't eat it. Brioche bread, can't eat it. Gluten, mean. Okay, this makes me think that seal bag is definitely Fiberfox. In my Beauty and the Beast bag from Fiberfox is, something I started and don't love, and I don't know why. This is my Killer Queen shawl out of Coop Knits Soxier DK in Astra Planetae, and also then this is the This Girl Has Horns colourway from The Lonely Knitter, which was the show colourway for East Anglia Yarn Festival this year. I succumbed to the fad, and I do have the unicorn needles with the pink cable. They are quite nice to knit with. They are blunt though. If you're a Chowgu or a higher person, these are significantly more blunt as needles. But I'm just not enjoying it. I don't know why. I started it, I got to like the bobbly bits, and then I went, yeah. It's one of those ones where I do want the finished object, but I don't know if I want to make the thing. So this might get frogged. In fact, I think it will get frogged and made into something else. The combination of the yarns is lovely, but I just don't think this is the pattern for it. Okay, that's that. Yeah, that's that section done. Okay, top row. This one is brand new. This is the Woolly Originals bag with Callock, Sheck, Ellen or Mrs. Lamb's yarns yarn knitted into it. I bought that at Perth Festival of Yarn in 2021, yes. And the yarn I'm using was yarn that I bought at Perth 2021 from Wish You Were Here. It is hand spun, 100% merino, which they spun and then sold. So they sell, I've got a few of their braids from the same show as well. So this is their label. Is that going to focus on the label? There we go. So yeah, 100% merino, 100 grams, 142 metres. I am doing one side. I finally started one. After all my friends have been making one. A Musselburgh Hat. So I am using, well, I started it with 5mm needles, and then I was like, I don't really like the gauge, so I'll just go up a needle size, and then still didn't really like the gauge, so went up to a 6. I'm now doing short circulars and a 6mm, which I think are higher highers, And just, I've done the increases and I'm going round and round and round now. So there will not be enough for a full hat, so I'm going to get to halfway or until the yarn runs out, and then I will switch to 140 metres for 100 grams. That's going to be a heavier Aran. So I'll probably switch to, do you know what? I've got a stranded or truly hooked. I've got truly hooked Aran that's got a lot of these colours in it. So I think I'll just do that for the inner. So yeah, it's just beautiful. That kind of, it's barber pole. It's very much barber pole, the yarn as it comes out of the cake. As it's spun, it is barber pole. It's a I want to say it's a 2-ply. Yes, it's a 2-ply. Oh, for some reason you can't see that. There we go. But I'm loving the texture and this little striping it's doing now that it's got to full width. The striping that's happening is exactly what I wanted. So this is my mindless knitting. I cast on yesterday, and then I was knitting the increases and then the round and round during D&D last night. My character got killed off by a death knight. My paladin got killed off by a death knight last week, and like killed, like not chuck them some health points and they'll wake up. No, killed. And then our cleric, despite my conversation with him weeks ago about both of us always having Revivify prepped as spells just in case one of us goes down, he did not have Revivify prepped. So the only way he could bring me back to life was resurrection, which means I'm now handicapped for 4 days of game time. Yay. Battery's gone. I'll be right back. And she's back. Oh, why has it gone yellow? Oh well, we might have to deal with. That'll do. I can always sort it post. Right, Musselburgh. Okay. Next are my father's socks, which technically are a hoe. A half-finished object. I don't know why there's there's a needle there because I do need to do something. So, one sock for my father, who is a size 12. These are DK sport weight socks. This is, so I did 2x2 rib, just normal rib. Cannot remember how many I did for the leg. He likes a long sock. Traditional heel flap and gusset. I did a triangle heel turn, but this excellently demonstrates the difference between my gauge on the flat and my gauge on the, so flat, round. The gauge is very different. So the reason why there was a needle stuck in that heel turn is because I have some nylon yarn, and I had planned to, but I obviously completely forgot to knit with the nylon yarn, because if you have a look at my Instagram feed, I can't remember which one, there's a video that my dad took of me darning his socks, and they basically they go here, and that is because of my tension. So I was going to preempt, and I'm going to duplicate stitch nylon thread into those stitches to give it a bit more reinforcement. So one sock is done. You'll notice that there's some bulb stitch markers on there. That is to count my rows. I am on the foot of the second sock. The gusset decreases are done. So yeah, that is motoring along, and it will motor even more because I've got, as I go, I'll be counting my stitches, putting my bulb stitch markers on, and it's a motivation to see them disappearing off the first sock and onto the second sock. So this is in a little grey girl bag. This is one of her newer designs, which is a drawstring handle on one side. So this is the drawstring version of the pyramid bags. This yarn is Regia, I want to say, or it might be Opal. It's one of the two. But yeah. these socks have been on the go for a while, and I've got another skein ready, prepped for when I finish those ones, because it's always nice to have a pair of socks on the go for my dad. Okay, that's a blanket. This one is another Stephen West. This is the Jigshawl, which was not a knit along. Now, the rest of the yarn for this, so I'm currently housing it in a lovely Lydia bag, which is actually a wash bag because it's got waterproof lining. But for the section I'm on, I only need one number of colour. I'm on this. Oh God! For those of you who know the Jigshawl pattern, I'm on a section that only needs one of the yarn selections. But currently, oh God, here we go. I think this is the orientation. So, yeah, we are 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5th section, section 5 of the Jigshawl, which I will put a photo here. The current yarn that I'm using is Dye Candy Fluff in Unicorn Massacre and Countess Ablaze Merino Single Ply in... I cannot remember. But that is my colour CC in the pattern. The rest of it, the rest of the yarn is in... Oh, it's slightly outshot. This basket, which was lovingly made for me by the lovely Laura, who is sewn and shown on Instagram, mainly because she got annoyed at me that I had this kit ready and waiting to make up this basket, and I hadn't got around to sewing it yet. Anyway, 2 to go. This one is my gnome. I've got my Hey J yarn, Don't Be a and my Let's Go Make a Cup of Tea. This is a Knit It, Hook It, Craft It, which is now Provenance Craft Co. bag. She does not make the tweed ones anymore, but it's a really handy bag. This is my Nifty the Gnome, which was the mystery knit along that's just recently finished, and I am going down the body. It is. I had to stall it a little bit, and I've got a corner of craft. Flower crown, Foxy on it. There you are. There we go. This stalled because, so I did the hat, lovely. And because she fooled Sarah Shearer, who's Imagine Landscapes, who does the gnome, knit alongs. Do you like my needle stoppers? She had us all fooled, and the thing that I thought was a Satsuma was actually a nose. So, what have I got? Just ends of yarn in here. So I actually re-knit the nose, so it wasn't orange. But also, having looked at it, I didn't stuff it as much, so it's like bumpy and lumpy and looks more like a nose. So yeah. And I have a foot. No, I have 2 feet. I have 2 feet. Yes. So I just have to finish the body and then do the arms, and that's it. And again, I don't know why I haven't finished this. It's very strange, and well, it's not very strange because this is what I do apparently. Oh, I've lost. No, I haven't lost. I had extras, apparently. I had my 2 sweary ones in there. I don't know why I had the 2 sweary. Oh, probably because I used other needles. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah. Nifty. So what will happen is, so that's the front. And then he will have a very large schnoz attached that way. Just under the brim of the hat. Like that. So yeah, I don't know why I've stalled on him, because there were other things to do. So that is that one. Last in the pile of stuff is my crochet basket, which I'm winging it. So I have this square base pleather bottom, and I've been using leftover scraps of dishcloth cotton. This is all sugar and cream. Leftovers and scraps from weaving projects. In fact, it will go with this towel once, although look at all those ends, I haven't even sorted them. That was a weaving project, which I need to sort. That could be a thing I finish. Actually, that should be in my finish it pile right there. Okay, so that is, I'm just going round and round and round, and when I run out of yarn, I stop. That's the plan. And I will, if there's any yarn left over of other ones, other colours, probably this one, I will make handles and turn it into a basket. And it will either live here or live in the house in Kent. And that is it. So, I just mentioned there's a couple of things that I want to do. I want to do the Musselburgh Hat, although this might become D&D knitting because it's actually quite handy for D&D knitting. I want to frog the Killer Queen cowl. Lovely pattern, wrong yarn. Don't know why, but the yarn I want to make into something else. What is all of this? I have no idea. It's going to go in the scrap yarn bucket. Anyway, so Killer Queen, I'm going to frog. That I'm going to turn into D&D knitting. And I need one more. Basically, I want a crochet and a knit project on the go at all times. And then a blanket, but we'll talk about blankets next time. I don't want to frog any of these. So, by the next time I podcast, I want to have one of these projects finished. Now, I think I want to get Dad's socks finished, so they'll be my knitting project. And then my crochet project will be the Mal doll. So by the next time I podcast, I want to have finished Mal, her at least, if not the clothes as well, and I want to have finished Dad's socks. So that's my aim. I'll do other stuff around as well. I have the kind of next actions if we hark back to my planner days. My next actions basket, which is next to my finished objects basket. So where did I put those socks? Did I put them back in here? Yeah, I totally did. Yeah, they don't need to go back in there. So there are things that are waiting. So there's this, which is my woven towel, which basically just needs the ends weaving in, it needs washing, and then it needs putting into use. So I've done all the securing of the ends, so all I need to do is weave in those extra ends and then cut these short, and then it's a perfectly serviceable towel, or tea towel, hand towel. Let's call it a hand towel. It's quite a nice hand towel. But it's a square, basically. So, yeah. So that'll be like an hour's job. Not even. So that needs to be finished. And then these were the ill-fated socks that I made for Amelia that she said was too itchy, but because I did the sock stop on the bottom, I can't unravel it. So my plan is to cut it where the short row heel was. No, that was an afterthought heel. Cut it there, and then turn them into little wrist warmers for her. Again, it'll take me about an hour. Haven't done it yet. Then these are from my granny's stash. This is a pillowcase, which basically I just want to put a pillow in it. I don't know why I haven't done that. And then there is, where's my phone? No idea. I'll find that later. Anyway, then there is this placemat, this solitary solo placemat, which I was going to see if a friend wanted to make bags with, but I'm kind of also like, I could do that. Or I could put a backing onto it and turn it into a pillowcase. Why can't I do that? And then that's two things that were from my granny, which I'll take down to the house in Kent, because actually no, do I want to do that? No, I'll keep them here. They're too precious to be in the house in Kent. Anyway, so that's that. And then the next one on here is a pair of... These were a tube that I turned into Afterthought Everything Heels, and the yarn for the... So this is Stranded Dye Works sock tube, and then the yarn is, I think, River Knits, their old BFL base, and this is what happened. So giant hole. So what I need to do is basically rip out the Afterthought heel in this one. The toes are fine, it's just the heel. So I need to rip it out and then find some other yarn that will work better. And I'll probably also knit in some nylon thread with them as well, because that's what happens with Afterthought heels for me is... See, I'm halfway through unravelling that one. But it's so felted as well. So anyway, so that's another one. Last one is everyone remembers this cowl, brioche DK bandana cowl, which is a Lavagna Petrilla. I don't tend to wear this anymore because I have another DK cowl that I absolutely love, which is my Enchanted Rose. So I don't really need this. So I'm going to give it to my mum. She knows it's coming, but this was made with the leftovers of my Truly Hooked blanket club that I made my giant half square triangle blanket with. But this is the leftovers, so this is all the rest of the... So it basically goes from the green at the end of this onwards. And Mum has asked for some matching mitts, so I'm going to make her some mitts, probably with a grey, although I don't have any of this grey left over. We'll see. I'll find something sensible. But yeah, so that's another thing that's on my kind of next actions list. But I do want to get these 3 things done, because then they're done and they're not just sitting there looking at me like, why haven't you done anything with us yet? But yeah, so that's my plan, is if I can get at least those 3 things done, the 2 socks into either repaired or into something else, and then the tea towel, whatever, and then getting Dad's socks done and getting the Maldol done. I think that's a good goal, isn't it? Yeah, good goal. And I think that's it. Life stuff. So Amelia is on school holidays, as I said. Chris is about to go on a work trip for a week, so we're going to go and spend some time in Kent with my family and my friends. As most of you who've been around will know, the family owns a house down in Kent. The house we rent out, and then the separate annex, which used to be the garage, was converted by my dad, and we use it for family stuff. There was a giant flood in January. I cannot remember if I told you this. Basically a pipe burst, and the water came through the ceiling and into the bed on the bedroom, and then the entire thing flooded. So it is finally habitable again. We've had to buy a new bed, obviously. Insurers were a pain. Financial Ombudsman had to get involved and sided with me, which is... that was a way off, because otherwise that'll be a lot of money. So now it's habitable again, and we're probably going to start Airbnb-ing it, because I have a tenant in the house who is willing to kind of do the on-site management. I can do the kind of bookings and communications and all that kind of stuff. So little side income, because... Other news, I've left work. My contract was due to come to an end anyway in September, and I was getting more and more frustrated being there. The work was great. I've made some amazing friends of the students and of the staff as well. But the bureaucracy in the department and the general kind of paying lip service but never following through on staff support just frustrated me no end. So I left. I was like, do you know what? I could hand my notice in April and actually take the summer holidays off with Amelia and make a plan for the next steps. So the next steps are stepping at the moment. The Airbnb is one of them. So yeah, I am officially unemployed. And we've had... so I've been out of the job for 2 weeks now, and in those 2 weeks Amelia's been ill. So she had the first week of her holiday with her daddy. Chris took a week off. And then she went into summer club for one day, because that's the agreement, is she has 2 days of summer club per week so that we have some time apart. But she went in for one day, and then that evening got a temperature and was not very well. And the next day was just so unwell. So we kept her off, ended up taking her to the nurse because her temperature skyrocketed. It went to like 39.4 or something. And then, she's been ill ever since, bless her, and it's been a week and a half. So she still has a slight temperature. She is much better in herself. Timing could not have been worse, because the plan was for our first week off is that we hired a camper van. I'll put a photo of said camper van. His name is Nemo. And we booked him for a week, and she was only well enough to come to the campsite one day. So we went on a lovely campsite in Winchester, really good spot, really nice amenities. It was just very peaceful. Just outside Winchester, we went to Winchester Science Centre on the Saturday with Amelia. So basically, I was there for the night before. We only had that campsite booked for 2 nights, and then we were going to go on and move and go and see family on the south coast. But in the end, we just enjoyed the camper van on the driveway. But yeah, I was there for one night with friends, and then she came and joined me. Chris drove her down because we're only about an hour from Winchester actually. And so she got the camper van experience, but she was not a well bunny, poor pickle, which I think has then delayed her getting better. I'm going to drink. Anyway, SodaStream. They're the best. Yeah, but she's getting there. We went to Hobbycraft today. So that was nice. It was expensive, but it was nice. And then so we're doing a mini break down in Kent at the annex, catching up with friends and family. Hopefully going to have a nice glass of wine with friends on a couple of nights. Amelia's going to go and have a sleepover at my mum's for one of the nights, so that'll be quite a nice thing. She keeps wanting to do sleepovers with friends, and we've so far resisted. But I think if she can get through that, then we might be ready. And then, rest of the summer, we've got plans to go out to my dad's house. He has a house in the west of France, between Poitiers and La Rochelle, which he is spending the majority of his time there at the moment. It's gone through a whole great big renovation project, so my plan is to vlog when we're there, because we're going to be there for 2 weeks, and I'm really looking forward to it. We've never been out there for longer than a week, and when you include travel time on either side of that, we usually stop halfway, because in total it is a 12-hour drive from Oxfordshire down to Folkestone, and then Calais down to him. So we usually break it up with a hotel stay so that we're not driving for 12 hours in one day. I'm just really looking forward to it. And then when we're back, she's basically got 2 days and then back to school. So that's nice. It does mean I need to get all the school stuff prepped before we go. But yes, so that's it. One last thing for me. I am feeling the need for an along. Now, I have several cardigans on my list. Obviously, I'm doing the Maema at the moment. I want to do the Yes You Cardigan by Bex at the Pigeon's Nest. I want to make another Granny Hexie, but for Amelia, because I love my Granny Hexie cardigan. It's fabulous. And I want to make I think it's the 3-season cardigan by Wool and Pine. This one. So I want a cardigan along. So I'm thinking I'll launch it at the next podcast, but just to get you prepped, we will have a cardigan along. You can knit, crochet, Tunisian crochet, sew, weave, if you want to weave the fabric and then sew it. Are there other ways of making cardigans apart from those 4? And I'm going to come up with a snappy title, but actually, if you want to come up with a snappy title, I might do an early prize for whoever comes up with the title. Because my prize basket is still relatively full, and I'm about to do a D-stash as well, so I can pick some stuff from a D-stash. So yeah, let's do that. So let's make it official. If you can come up with a snappy cardigan along, because it can't be a cowl because there's also the s for we could do a stitch along. So let's call it a sal. It's a stitch along because you stitch with, yeah, let's do that. Basically, anything that is you making a cardigan from fabric that you create from fabric that either you create with your own hands or that you stitch together, there we go, will count, and it'll go, oh god, so it'll go from next time I podcast, which will be end of August probably. Yeah, because I'll probably do a podcast while we're out in France, and then it'll go through to the, let's say, end of November, because then it's not messing with Advent. Yeah, let's do that. Double dipping, triple dipping, all the things is fine. Whips are allowed. I am not fussy about it, and we'll run it through my Discord server. So I'll open a thread on there. But if you have a snappy title for the along, because I'm really bad at this kind of stuff, pop it in the comments below, and I will draw. Well, whoever gets a title, that gives me the title that I think would work incredibly well and I like and is on brand for me, I'll send you a skein of yarn or a pattern, whatever you want. Oh, very loosey goosey. Anyway, I'm going to go because I've talked for a long time. I hope you are all well and staying cool / warm depending on the season that you are in. The weather's funny at the moment, isn't it? Global warming. Gotta blame capitalism. Take care of yourselves, happy crafting, and I'll see you very soon.